The Restaurant App Maker is an application that we will build together based on the Restaurant app I introduced earlier. It will generate a custom application for a specific restaurant. As I mentioned before, we are taking a depth-first strategy where we implement a narrow user interface and logic all the way to the server code, so we can test the full process before we fill in the pieces across the stack. So we are starting with a relatively simple baseline where we only include a part of the UI. Due to that, I removed almost every complex detail form and chose to focus only on the very basic features. I chose to copy the data model from the restaurant app. I copied, which is the lazy approach. I think it often makes sense to copy at first, and if you find yourself copying repeatedly, then spend the time to refactor. I see developers trying to overgeneralize things that don't need to be generic, and this often ends up taking more time than most of us expect. For code specific for the app, I added a new app settings class. This is a class mostly for data related to the code generation. I did the data model now because it was already implemented for the most part. Just like I did the UI first for the restaurant app, as it was already shown in the PSD. In this case, the data model is a good foundation to build on top. Let's try to draw how this will look. We start with the standard codename1 form class as the base class, which I will demonstrate here. Base navigation form derives from form to provide common capabilities such as the common side menu and other common top-level form abstractions. It will have several subclasses matching the top-level forms, but right now we'll focus on the two common UIs. One of them is the dish list, and the other is the build form. The dish edit form derives from form directly, as it doesn't include the side menu or related logic, so the base navigation form doesn't fit in this case.